right. So it looks like we are live. How's everybody doing? It's DJ discussion once again. I'm just going to mindlessly talk for a few seconds as we let people file in. So I'll just fill in my words, but let everybody know we got a great panel here today. You guys are already familiar with our girls, AK and KrisCut, and then Kristin, she moderates on some of the other female DJ discussions, but she's here joining us today. So always a pleasure to have Kristin. I was about to call you Christian, but her name is Kristin. And I think we have about like 10 viewers so far. So let's go ahead and we'll trickle into our introductions because actually Kristin has to get out of here early today. She's a busy woman and she's got some stuff happening afterwards. So we're going to scoot out of here. So it's going to be about a 45-minute show. So we'll jump right on in. I'm DJ Keelez, everyone. I am based out of Los Angeles. I specialize in high energy, super fun weddings and events. And I cannot talk today for some reason, but I'll get it together. I'm also LGBTQ wedding specialist. Always excited to be here with my QSC fam. Kristin out of Florida. She's the owner of RDJ Rocks, and she's going to tell you a little more about herself.
Yeah, what's up, people? I'm from Orlando, Florida. I own RDJ Rocks. We are a DJ multi-op, and I also have our sister brand, Photo Booth Rocks, and we do photo booth rentals. So backstage, everybody was like, how's Florida? And I'm like, it's open, but it's weird because like we're not doing too many events because of, you know, the time it took to get us here. But we're busy and we're doing stuff, and I'm blessed for that, and I'm blessed to be on the show with the ladies today.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah, we're slowly opening here too. We're going to touch a little bit into that later, but I'm excited to hear about what's happening on the other side of the country. AK, underneath.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. Good to be back. I'm DJ AK47. I'm based out of Los Angeles, originally from the Midwest. I'm an open format DJ. So I do all kinds of things, you know, all types of parties, no in real life stuff yet, primarily on Twitch. I got my first in real life booking coming up May 9th, and I'm freaked out.
Oh, Lord. What kind of event is it?
It's a housewarming and anniversary party. So it's a twofer. The client, they built a house from the ground up. And so like, it's like this really big deal with all of their friends. And then they've got their anniversary happening at the same time and nobody has done anything. And it's like, black tie. Oh my God, I'm stressed.
You got it. It'll be all right. Are you going to be outside? Do you have your like COVID protocols in place, or are you just?
Yeah. I'm going to actually be outside. I'm going to have audio patched into the inside as well, but the booth myself, I'll be outside in the back by the pool, so that'll be okay. But yeah, a lot of extra stuff to kind of incorporate into contracts and, you know, this and that, and I had to double check and make sure the insurance was
right
up to date. Just I'm just like getting back in. We're trying to remember all of this stuff. Oh my God, I just feel so nervous. I'm like,
You got this. I did one of my first weddings for a while. After like 4 months, I did my first wedding on Friday, actually. So I was rusty at first, but once I was into it, I'm like, oh yeah, wait, this is what it's like. And then once you see the people on the dance floor and everything like that, you're like, that's right. This is what I do for that's it all kind of like comes together. But you got, I know it's nerve wracking. It's interesting to see a group of people. For me, I was just like, oh wow, a group of people dancing. Like I have not done that in a while. It was interesting.
Yeah.
And then I was like, usually you're happy about that, but I didn't know if I should be happy or scared. So I felt like weird. I'm like, I don't know. Is this good? I don't know. Anyway, all right, KrisCut out of Vegas. What's up, girl? How are you?
What's up? Hi, guys. Good morning. I'm DJ KrisCut from Las Vegas, the city that never sleeps. I sleep, guys. Even though I say I'm team no sleep, I do get some sleep. Except for today. I didn't sleep. But anyway, yes, Kristin from Las Vegas, DJ KrisCut. Always a pleasure to hang out here on these QSC panels with you lovely ladies. So let's go.
KrisCut does not sleep. She is a robot, guys.
I do. Well, it's not.
Speaking coming from the girl who just said she's planning on a 24-hour stream.
Oh my gosh. She's like, I'm so invested.
Yeah, right. So let's talk about that, KrisCut. So actually, let's get it out of the way. KrisCut has a birthday coming up this weekend. So happy birthday.
Yay, thank
Please
you.
give her some birthday wishes in the chat box, everybody watching. But she was saying that she wanted to do a 24-hour Twitch stream because as you all know, KrisCut and AK are both like Twitch queens. They have mastered the art of Twitch over this pandemic, and I'm just incredibly in awe of both of them. But KrisCut here is going to get crazy with 24 hours. Let us know a little bit about this. What's happening? When? Why?
Why? I know why and why not? Like, shoot, I don't know if I'll be able to do this kind of thing ever again. So it's one of those, hey, why not things, and kind of test myself. And I got one of my mods in here, Angie. Shout out to Angie in the chat. She's always so supportive. And I said, you guys might want to like whisper each other. All the moderators kind of take shifts. I don't expect anyone besides me to be there for 24 hours. So that's another interesting thing to tackle. I see you, Sion. Good morning. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. And then, I mean, on the next talk, I can talk about it. But I mean, I've done like 15 hours. I've done 10. You know, the thing for me, I think, will be balancing the drinking part.
Oh, wow.
Right? Kristin, you know what I mean? Like, how do I balance the...
Oh, I can answer that. So you start with mimosas. And you start with more orange juice than champagne. And then as you drink the mimosas, you get less and less of the orange juice. And then once you get to a certain part of the day, then you can move to like, you know, maybe like a vodka or something like that.
Nice. I like the strategy. And then you can keep the orange juice. So you really know you can keep the same mixture as you progress harder. I love the strategy.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Really
With the hard liquor. Oh my God. I had a traumatizing experience in London when I turned 21 mixing champagne and vodka.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
So bad.
Yeah. And I'm a hard liquor person. So I do shots. So I'm like, how do I balance the shots part?
You know, champagne, or you don't drink champagne at all?
I don't drink champagne. I'm trying to avoid like the sugary stuff. So the orange juice is a little difficult, but yeah, because I think that's what makes you even feel more sick, right? We have too much sugar, right? Or alcohol with the mixers. Yeah. So yeah, I usually just do straight
those
shots.
things can hit you fast on the stream too, though. Woo!
No. Okay, so then maybe you have to space it out in between, like, you know, you can only take a shot every 4 songs, and like maybe you have like a power hour.
24 hours?
Yeah, that would be crazy. 24 hours every 4 songs, man.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just saying. We could strategize this.
We have to. I'm just curious. So bathroom breaks. I know I'm trying not to get dirty, but I just need to know what happens. You just let the music play. You walk out. Do you put the green suit on and like just kind of mingle in? What happens? Like you just let the audience know.
Bathroom breaks. I mean, luckily for me, like the restroom is right behind me. So like a song, like a 5-minute song is more than enough time, which is real cool. I don't have to run anywhere far. Do you guys remember doing gigs where the bathroom was like the other side and it was
that's what I'm picturing. You got to jog up the stairs and come back. All right, if it's right behind you, that's something. I'm picturing like you just have you know that meme with the little girl running? Like that's just why I had that makes sense. I mean, that's my priority. You guys are worried about the drinking. I'm thinking, oh Lord.
Right. That's true. The restroom. Where, like, first thing it goes, where's the restroom at a venue for us women? Like, where is the restroom in case I need to go so I can plan my route to the restroom?
And you know the bathroom and emergency exit. After that, we can figure everything else out. All right, but anyway, enough bathroom talk. I won't go there, but I'm just saying that's the thing I was worried about. But with that being said, we're also worried about the alcohol. We got a game plan for KrisCut. If anybody wants to throw some ideas in the chat box, let us know.
You drink vodka, right?
No, I drink, you know, I still have the bottle under here. I don't even want to pull it up, but yeah, it's peanut butter whiskey and I water it down so it's not as strong.
I was like, you know, I ice it down. You could just like swap out water shots and you'd be like, woo! And then when you get closer to the end, then start throwing them back and let it all hang out.
Right. No, I get like, you know, the thing is people are like, oh, I don't know how you do it because alcohol makes me sleepy. They say, I go, but for me, alcohol gives me energy. It's the opposite. I don't know what it is. Like it's energizing for me, especially tequila. I would like go all night with tequila.
Oh, don't get me started on that one.
Woo, yeah, enemy.
I might go all night, but I won't know where I was. I'm still going, but I don't know what's happening.
Same.
All right. So everybody, once again, tune into KrisCut's channel for that 24-hour stream. She'll give us, details, but I'm sure she'll be posting all about it and let you know where to find her, and we'll give her a chance to shout that out. But that's something awesome to tune into that's coming up. So excited to hear about that. But let's dive in because, again, we got a little short session today. So I want to be mindful of Kristin's time. But speaking of Kristin, she is in Florida. And we were discussing a little bit before this started that things are opening back up. In LA, they have a projected date of about June 15th of things opening back up. So it's interesting time, just like AK saying, we're all, I think, kind of going into our first live events after a while. I know KrisCut in Vegas, I've seen her trickling her way into the live events. And she's actually probably working a little more live events than everybody. And they've been open for a little bit. But Kristin, Florida, let us know. What's the East Coast like in terms of this whole, pandemic madness?
I mean, at this point, like I'm pretty sure there are still rules, but like we're open. It's based on the county, so it's wherever the venue is located. They kind of just take the guidelines they are given from their county, and they create safe events as much as they can out of that. I think from a guest perspective, I think people are used to wearing the mask. So like when they start showing up for ceremonies, I see the mask, and they are trying to keep their distance, and then at a certain point in the night when you're just with your intimate friends and family, like, and where people have been, it feels normal, even though like I know it's kind of not, because there are still the rules there. Maybe it's that whole cliche, like this is like the new normal. I don't really know. But I'm still just trying to be mindful because the rest of the world isn't open. And I do want to make sure that like I am promoting safety, because at the end of the day, this thing hasn't gone away,
Right.
So, I mean, yeah. And I think more than ever now, like I'm doing stuff even outside of Florida too, So, that's exciting because like lots of travel plans are coming up for me. Next week we have our first in-person conference, which I'm super excited about, Midwest DJs Live. I couldn't be more excited. Like, please, between this, like get me around all my DJ friends. I'm ready. Let's go.
Nice. Awesome. Well, and we were talking too a little bit about how things are actually increasing because of demand, right? Because everybody's ready to party. And so we could just touch a little bit about this. You were saying you were having some trouble finding some quality work out there, or really kind of having to do your due diligence for filling those gigs, right?
Yeah, it's crazy because, between the postponements and then the new demand, and then, people are either planning last minute. Like last week, I DJ'd a wedding on Friday night and she literally booked me 7 days prior. Where I also have people reaching out for 2022 and even like 2023. And like all of we're sold out. Like we can't take any more. So, we're doing our best to try to recruit some really awesome humans. And I'm finding that this space is just a little bit weird right now where, I want people who really are passionate about doing this and they are really into it. Cause like we were talking about behind the scenes, like being a DJ is not for the faint. Like you got to have stamina to be able to load the equipment and then have energy all night long and be able to read a crowd and perform for the crowd. And so what I find in training is that, you take 6 months to a year and then they get a year into it and they're like, oh, I don't know if I want to do what you do. You know what I mean? Because they're like, oh, this is what it is. Because all four of us have a really great way of just putting out the positive and the good energy, and they only see that part of it. So once you bring them behind the scenes, they're like, oh, wait, do I really want to take this on? You know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot. It's not, just like you said, it's not for the faint of heart. There's a lot that goes into it. It's physically exhausting. It can be mentally exhausting. It's a lot. You have to deal with, sober people, drunk people in the midst of a very important occasion. And so it's a very high stress situation. So yeah, you definitely have to be prepared for that. But if anybody's in Florida area and, is a female DJ that thinks they can handle it, our DJ Rocks is hiring. So you've heard it here. So feel free to check it out.
Holla. Interviews start in 2 weeks from now.
There you go. Ladies, let's go. Female DJs. What's up? All right. Well, that's good to know. At least the beauty part about that is that it's better to have more than less, right? In terms of gigs. I mean, it's better to just turn them away than to not, have the opportunity to do that, in my opinion. So That's great. And I've noticed here on the Los Angeles, or what am I talking? What coast are we on? We're on the West Coast. I was looking at this comment that said East Coast, Beast Coast, and it was just I lost all things. But we're, West Coast, which is the best coast, if you will. Yeah, there you go. AK knows what's up. We're slowly opening, and I'm noticing a lot more demand too. So I'm thinking the same thing's going to happen here, is that there's going to be an influx of people ready to party, which is good. And I would recommend everybody look into that. And if you're going to bring on DJs, bring them on now. Or if you're going to raise your rates, now is the time to do it, because there's going to be a huge demand. And I think that it's going to be, and DJ, thankfully to the pandemic with Twitch and people like D Nice on Instagram, DJs are really trendy. And so there's going to be a lot of people, I think, wanting them, at their events. And it's something to definitely consider if you haven't thought about that yet. Get your marketing games in order, get your staff in order, get your pricing in order, because it's about to go down, I think, now that we have the vaccines and everything rolling out and people a lot more comfortable. So
Let's go, people.
Good news for DJs, right? But on the Twitch front, so like I said, we have AK-47 and we have KrisCut. So let us know how the Twitch world is happening now that the pandemic is kind of shifting. Are you guys still seeing as much excitement when it comes to Twitch, or is anything kind of dying down? Either one of you can feel free to hop in on this one.
Oh, well, I feel like it's getting way better. I mean, you know what? There's more and more people still hopping on the platform. Lots and lots of DJs still on there. I mean, I see DJs numbers go up. Like, especially the ones that are pushed with that algorithm, like higher up, like their numbers are just continually growing because more people are still not comfortable. There's still people not comfortable like going out. And actually it's become a norm now. Like instead of listening to Pandora and Spotify, they're like, let me just find my favorite DJs on Twitch, right? So, which is funny because I just got an offer to sign up for Spotify to try it for 3 months for free. And I am picking up a new gig in the summer that I'm really grateful for, like at like a beach house. And it's going to be like, that tropical vibe. So I need to get on that tip and I need to go to Spotify to find the newer stuff. So, I mean, but my radio and TV and Netflix for the last year has been Twitch. I mean, everything, has been that. And then just listening to the other platform, Clubhouse.
Right.
If you have an iPhone, Clubhouse has been another outlet to like listen to podcasts or participate without having to get all dressed up and stuff. You could be in your pajamas and participate in chats on Clubhouse, which is the best thing for us women who have to like put that face on, put that, you know what I mean? Like it's all the prep we talk about for Twitch. It's a lot of work. Like I think I'm for the month already, I'm hitting 90 hours on Twitch for like from,
wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm still going. I love it so much. And I love the community. It's been really amazing. So wow. I don't see it slowing down at all.
That's awesome. So. Same for you, AK. Things are still roaring full speed for you.
Yeah, things are good on for me. You know what is interesting is just for me, the biggest thing is kind of like finding out what works for me, like schedule wise, because every body has different like responsibilities and stuff that they have outside of the streaming and all that stuff. So I kind of was trying like, let me take a week off at the end of the month. And that was cool. And then I was like, all right, well, let me segue back into not taking a full week off. I'm going to just sprinkle the days out. So that's what I'm doing now. And so that's been really fun. Like I am streaming a little bit more, like a day or two more than I normally would. And people are really enjoying it. You know what I mean? I feel like energized and happy about what I'm doing. The happier I am on the stream, the better the streams go for me. That's what I find. If I'm into it, if I'm excited, if I'm loving the music, then that's when the time is flying by and I look up and I've been on for 4 hours and it's just good. So yeah, it's still good. I mean, at the end of the day, like we're just all trying to get acclimated to whatever is normal, right? Because even though Los Angeles, we're opening back up and where Kristin is, they're open, and in Vegas, it's somewhere in between. We still have to kind of get acclimated to everything because one county is going to do it this way. And then these people are going to require, vaccinations. These people are going to just require testing. So it's so much stuff going on. It's kind of like comforting to just not have to worry about the stuff, get on, play some music, and I would be there anyway. If I can make some money, then cool. And that like really it's just been okay for me. It just keeps growing for me. Like I'm not really in a lot of conversations about what's going to be and what's not going to be. I'm just taking it like kind of one day at a time. And as we get more things rolling and things are seeming a little bit more normal, because quite frankly, you don't know what is normal because it's like, a surge, not a surge, and then this country is back down and then we're back out, but are we in or are we out? But we're kind of, it's so like confusing. It's like you kind of just don't know. So I'm thankful for Twitch to just kind of be able to wait it out, and still be able to DJ and do something that makes me happy and still make a little bit of money. So I'm not putting too much thought into it. I'm kind of just riding the wave till we get
trickling in between with live events. So it's interesting. I kind of really started to dig virtual events. I mean, the setup is amazing. You just show up and you're like I was spoiled. I really was spoiled. So it's tough. Yeah. But when I was working in person, I'm like, man, I got to load this stuff. I got to carry it. It was stairs. It was a whole crazy thing. So I think we're all, a little spoiled, but it's true. I mean, I think that understanding what we can accomplish with technology, that people can sit in their pajamas and do things, I think is going to change for a lot. I don't think we're going to see it going. I think we're just going to see it now intermingling with the people who are ready, like Kristin, who's like, I'm ready to go out and party. There's people, just like somebody was saying before, that they're not ready and they're still going to want to stay at home. And I think that's going to be a while, because, you know, the pandemic has taught people that they can work from home, that they can, you know, still do what they were going to an office every day, but without a commute. So I don't see that going anywhere. And yeah, you know, and now that people see DJs and are spoiled by, they can have a DJ in front of them and talk, and then the DJ talks back. I think that's a ball game. Yeah, I don't see it going anywhere. I think it's definitely going to be an interesting next few years, which is
that
great.
is true.
I think it's great for
because in the nightclub, how much back and forth exchange can you have with us, or in a wedding, or when we're actually DJing, we don't have the luxury of like really having a lot of conversation, unless it's like attached to the client and we have to have conversations. But virtually, like, you know, conversation can go 15, 20 minutes. And that's not, that doesn't happen in real life a lot of times.
Right.
So that is an interesting point.
And it's a good way to be able to see you too. I find, like, because, you know, I used to, pre-pandemic, everybody said, where can I go see you? Where can I go see you? When you're doing private events, you're like, well, you really can't. I mean, unless you're crashing somebody's wedding, like, you really kind of can't. But now that you have Twitch and stuff like that, you can honestly say, well, okay, you want to see me? Let me do a Twitch set so that you can come and see me DJ, which is something that I never even thought of before. But that's really cool that you could, you know, gain potential clients that, where even you could even do a showcase of your services to where people don't necessarily have to come to your spot. You can say, hey, check out what I do. Here's this and this. Add some graphics, whatever you got to do. I mean, it's a really amazing tool that DJs can use, you know, to even get live events and to just thrive virtually. So it's amazing. It's amazing what we've learned, right? During this pandemic, it's amazing.
Right. What we've been forced to learn.
Right.
Hey, but we all sound amazing, right? We all got our virtual streaming game down. So, I mean,
but it definitely made me kind of tap into just the reality. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys are saying, we all have the same sentiment. I'm sure you guys all know about the gear and the, you know, the setup and the this and the that. It's just like, where do I want to be with this thing in 10 years? I want to be working smarter, not harder. So it did actually make me pay attention to, okay, so there is no retirement. So what are you going to do about that, ma'am? And, you know, what is going to be the residual income, and what are the other streams of income, and how do I start to put those things in position? Because the DJing can be a little finicky, you know, and everyone knows, like, it's like a pretty strenuous job. You don't want to have to do it. You know what I'm saying? You want to have bigger jobs that are paid more. So definitely jolted me into thinking about that now rather than thinking about it later. So that has been pretty awesome, that I've been setting up all of this stuff just for my future that I don't really think I was thinking too hard about, because I was just like, it's a vibe. I'm a DJ. Being a DJ is a vibe. Yeah. Like, I couldn't bother with all of this stuff that the man has put on me. It's like, girl, you don't want to be in your house with cats. And people are like, we have to take you to an institution, ma'am. There's no children or anybody to look after you. So that's definitely been one of the great things that came out of it. Just me getting all that stuff set up. So that's been cool.
Yeah. And same here, honestly, like the pandemic made me realize that, you know, I needed to set something up more than just like saving for a rainy day. Like, I had to live life like an adult, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, well, what's going to happen when I'm 60 and I need to retire? And, you know, you can't do this and this. Same like you, I had to look into my options and really reevaluate what I was doing with myself, and, you know, making sure that I was making the most out of my DJ career, you know, financially speaking, and even reevaluating my pricing to make sure that I was charging my worth, and rethinking of why you have to charge as much as you have to charge, because people don't understand that. And, you know, the pandemic made me realize, like, listen, this is our career. This is our livelihood. You know, this is our time and our talent that you're paying for. And, you know, regardless if I'm setting up a bunch of, you know, equipment, or if I'm just coming and plugging and playing, you know, my value is still there either way. You know what I mean? So it's like it's really made me reevaluate that too. So definitely, to all the DJs out there, if you don't have some sort of retirement plan, definitely look into it. Even if it's something like stocks, IRA, whatever you do, you know, for sure. Like, it's crazy. And it's really not that much of a commitment. Not little tangent, but anyway, just throw it out there. It's like $10-$50 a month, whatever you can afford, you know, $100 a month, not crazy to do. Gain some interest on that bad boy, and definitely think about your future, because being a DJ, we've all seen the pandemic teach us. I guess we've all shown that it can be secure, but I can honestly say that it was a really panic-inducing moment there in March and April of 2020. I mean, I guess we can all kind of agree that we probably weren't so sure then.
It was scary at first. It was kind of like a mini panic at first. And then as the time rolled on, I was just like, oh, okay. Well, I got to figure something out because I just don't think that I mean, when the money is like showing up and you're booking the gigs, I think sometimes you forget about the time when the money was not showing up and you were not booking the gigs. So it's just really made me be able to focus on like, let me think a few steps ahead of myself. You know what I'm saying? Not just, oh, my corporate client that I depend on for these 3 events every year, and it's a lump sum of money. It's like I haven't booked anything with any of my corporate clients in over a year, and that was like a for sure thing of lump sum of money, like a few times a year from a few different companies, and that's just not happening. And I don't even know if they'll come back to doing it on the scale that they were doing. You know, it's a lot of installations that these companies have, and the swag bags and the gift bags and the feeding the people 3 times a day. Like, I don't even know if it'll be the same. It might be a virtual, like, we will hire you, tap you in virtually so we don't have to pay for 50 hotel rooms and, you know, pay for your rental car and put you up. It's like, it might be a little different. Might not even be making as much with the same clients that I was making before.
Or maybe even hybrid where they do, you know, some virtual, some not.
Yeah. Right?
I think what's most terrifying is that, like, even in that time frame where we all got really scared, right, where there was nothing booking and no events, is like, to me, like, being able to, like, in this moment in time, let's say it's April 21st, 2021, and I can look at a calendar 2 years in advance and I'm like, okay, boom, secured. And then in literally a split second, it's as if someone dropped a bomb on the calendar and all of that security left and there was not a damn thing you could do, like, gone. So like even when you thought what was secure is now no longer secure. That's wild to think about when I look back at.
That
was scary.
It was so trippy because, like, I didn't even think I had went through 10 years of, like, oh, you know, and I mean, when I first started, it was scary, but then you get to the point where you almost get spoiled and you're like, yeah, it's okay. And I'm sure Kristin knows, once you really get to a point where it's just kind of consistently coming in, you got spoiled. And now I think we're all going to realize that even if it's coming in consistently, we're always going to keep it in the back of our head, that fear of, like, you know, but I mean, it's going to drive us to work a little harder to make sure that we can consistently get those clients in there. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm a big believer that the pandemic, at least for me personally speaking, made me a stronger person because of all these things I've now had to reevaluate. It's made me almost a better person because I've had to reevaluate so much in my business. And also, one thing I recently realized too, and Kristin, speaking of hiring people, is, you know, I was not the best in really sharing the wealth in terms of work. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I really hesitated in terms of sending other DJs out there. And the pandemic made me realize, like, there's no reason, you know, to do that. Like, honestly, like, if the work is coming in, you know, fill the work and put the DJs out there, and, you know, don't sweat the small stuff, and, you know, like, figure out what works best for that DJ, and don't let your because, like, there was a part of me that was wanting to charge a certain price, but, you know, the DJs were willing to work for a little less, and I could have maybe wiggled a bit. My ego kind of got in the way, and it's this whole thing. But I realized, like, you know what? Sometimes you have to reevaluate it and say, maybe the ego really wasn't worth it because it's more important to have people working. You know what I mean? If I can have DJs working, and my DJs being able to get unemployment was something that I realized, which is a benefit of making sure you're on the up and up when you have the business, is that your DJs can get unemployment. Like, you know, that saves some of them when they email me. They're like, hey, yeah, you know, I got unemployment. You know, thank you. I wasn't expecting to be able to get that, but cool, you know. So it's one of those things to really evaluate and understand that it's a business. As much as we are rocking, you know, this eventually will turn into a business, and eventually you have a business where you're employing people, and it's a huge, important thing. And you do think you're a DJ and you're like, I'm just showing up and plugging in, but it's so much more than that.
And I really respect the accountability that you said, but you mentioned your ego. You know what I'm saying? Like that's pretty big. I think that's been a lot of where the work has come for me, since this whole thing is like self-evaluation, and kind of taking a step back and kind of looking at my own stuff. And there was a lot of areas, although technically I'm a good DJ, there's some other areas that just need to be tightened up. You know what I mean? So the accountability, and I just think that has opened up so many more opportunities. Even though everything is uncertain, I just have like a gut feeling that I'm going to be okay, because I really tried to like go in there and, look at that. So when you brought up the ego thing, I just wanted to say, like, I really respect you, like, even bringing that up and speaking to the part that you possibly played in the situation. So
yeah, no, I mean, I think that you always have to kind of every few years, you just take a step back and really kind of evaluate. And, especially when you're in an industry like we're in, where you can develop an ego, you know what I mean? When you're in an industry and everybody's telling you you're great majority of the time, you can walk around with a really big head, you're like, oh, I'm so sorry, do you not know who I am? No, so it's like, but yeah.
Go around your family. They will knock that right back down for you.
They'll knock you down a few notches. Absolutely. Yeah, but I mean, it's important. It's important that I'm a big believer in staying humble too. Really, I think the more, but appreciate your wins, but also don't get too crazy with that ego stuff, because that'll shoot you in the foot 100% of the time. But also, we don't have the time. We're all going to be working. We're all going to be working as DJs. And like I said, the pandemic made us all kind of mini celebrities. So take that bad boy and run with it. And, and just perfect your skill and go for it. Right. So let's see here. Somebody's talking about their lacking self-esteem knocks them back to reality daily. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
As a DJ too, most people suffer from imposter syndrome, right? Which is like this, you think you're faking it. You think like, you're great, but you're not really as great as you're like showing the world you are. I don't know the exact medical term. You can feel free to Google it and shoot anything if you want to let me know, but it's essentially that, and I think we all suffer from it. It's like you really, you feel like you have this pressure to just be so cool, and you just don't know if you're going to be able to live up to that pressure. And I suffer from that so much. And I've learned to have to really step back. And what works for me is tuning out of social media for a minute and just kind of like taking a deep breath and doing my own thing for a little bit, and, rocking an event or rocking a set or doing something and just saying, you know what, I am a good DJ. Like, and I'm a good DJ in my own right. Like, seeing all these other people really makes you think, well, I can't do that. And I can't do that. And I can't do that. Sometimes you have to sit down and see what you can do to be like, but you know what I can do? I'm an amazing MC. I can rock a wedding. I was about to curse. I never remembered AK-47. I stopped myself. Thank you for that. She's helping. She's on a whole thing. We'll get into that later. But, it's like saying that I can rock a wedding on a mic, where some other people can't. So it's definitely embracing your strengths and working on them.
Yeah, but you know what also too is that like we all have to remember, and I'm going to say this to you, is that like you are goals for someone else. And I say that because I respect every single one of you women that I'm staring at across the screen right now, because like all y'all are goals for me. Right. And so when I get into the zone where I'm like, I'm not good enough, why did I get chosen? Or how do I do that? Or, I'm nervous. Maybe this isn't my expertise, but now I'm being thrown into it. Like, why me type thing. I just have to think to myself, okay, what is my purpose? And also like, there's at least one person out there that like, they're looking at me like I'm goals, just I look at other people like they're goals,
I love that. That's true. That's what me, like that's so crazy too, because like, I think Twitch has brought out our personalities. Like we show our personalities. And like you said, we're always like that. We're used to being that positive light for other people. They don't see that the days that we have that are bad. Yeah. I mean, there's been times I've cried on my stream because, like if I, some things happen, but I feel that beauty of like showing your realness to your community is so important. Like, I always try to project like, this is a happy, positive space. This is where you can come hang out with me. No judgment. You can just like jam and listen to music, aside from whatever hectic, crazy thing is going on the side of your life. Having that outlet has been so amazing. And like that growth of myself, I would have never been able to imagine in a million years that I was, going to be able to do this. I like being that DJ, like not having to talk and just, express myself through music. And then putting that camera on you for the first time on Twitch, it's like you kind of like freeze up. You're like, oh shoot, there's people watching me. And then sometimes it still hits you, right? You're like, oh my God, people are watching me right now. Like, especially if there's like 200 people in the room that you can't physically see, but then you see the number like 200 and you're like, oh crap, then all of a sudden you feel like you're shrinking and you're like, wait, snap out of it. You're here for a reason. Right. So, like I still get that. And I still see other people as goals. And I love that you said that, Kristin, that people like see us as goals, because that, that's something we always forget sometimes. We forget.
I don't see myself that way though. In my own body, I'm just doing stuff. So I have a
I'm
hard
the
time
same, and I
like
agree with
seeing
you,
myself as that.
Yeah. Okay. And 100%. And I don't think I'm goals either, but I'm telling you that you are goals. I look at you and like you and KrisCut doing Twitch. I'm telling you from Kristin, you two are goals for
No,
me. Like,
Oh, thank you.
I mean,
Aw.
there's just, you guys have a certain level of expertise that, like, either isn't someone's passion or isn't where they want to focus, but maybe they want to be there, and maybe that authenticity and maybe that just that kind of like mindset of like, I'm not really doing anything special. I'm just doing it. And
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's a goal,
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I think I know I personally have mad respect for everybody on this panel. I mean, we're all killing it in our own rights, just like I was saying before. But there's also some beauty to the imperfection too. And I just want to share a story about a virtual event I was on too recently that really kind of made me kind of rethink when it comes to DJing. So I was DJing, and in the middle of DJing, my laptop froze completely. So my music was still playing. They could still hear me, but my laptop was frozen. I couldn't see what they were saying, and I couldn't see that. This is the one gig out of like 50 that I did not set my backup laptop. And I'm like, of course, this is going to happen when I don't. So I'm honestly like panicking. So I'm trying to be on the microphone. And I'm like, all right, guys, so I'm frozen real quick. Worst case scenario, I might have to log off real quick, and come back on. But, and there was somebody moderating in the back. I'm like, moderator in the back. When you see my other laptop, if you can just let me. So I'm like moderating it, but keeping the music going and keeping the energy. So then, like, by the grace of God, my laptop popped back on and bow, I was in business. And I'm like, what? You guys can see me? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, right. So I kept it moving. But the very first comment I saw in the chat was, I love you even more now, DJ. And that really just I'm like, to get a response like, I love you even more now after a mistake, after they were hanging for 2-3, it was only 2-3 minutes, but Lord, it felt like 3 hours. But hanging for 2-3 minutes to get a response of, I love you even more, DJ. That's something to be telling you that the save is even as important as the ability to rock that party. So your mindset has to be like, it's okay to be perfect and it's okay to be imperfect. You just have to come back and understand that, you know what, your crowd's going to love you either way. But that really made me rethink how I used to beat myself up when I made mistakes.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I would beat myself. I would lose sleep over clearing the dance floor. I would be like, I can't believe that. I can't believe, why did I play that song? I knew better. I knew I should have played this versus this. I mean, it makes you a better DJ, but it makes you sick to the stomach for like 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Like I've been that. I mean, maybe I'm a little perfectionist, but I have honestly, and I've just had to learn like it's not healthy and it's not good because, the crowd really doesn't know any better. The crowd wants to see how you recover and how that party starts and finishes. And whatever happens in the middle is just kind of bonus. You know what I mean? And that's everything with your career and everything like that. It just matters how you start and how you finish. What happens in the middle is just going to make you a stronger person. So that's the best advice I can input there. But we are all, like I said, killing it. And we got like 5 minutes before Kristin has to. So I'm trying to be respectful of our girls' time. So with that being said, let's go ahead and wrap things up here. I always like to give people a little bit of time to just throw some final words out there. You can feel free to, what are we going to say? Promote yourself. Let us know what you got coming up in the near future. If you just want to offer some words of wisdom, you can feel free to do that. I personally just want to shout out to QSC, as always, for having us. Thank you all so much, not only for the amazing products, but for the amazing opportunities you afford us DJ. So thank you. Thank you. But Kristin, let us know what you're up to. Give us some final words. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm going to second that. QSC, thank you. They've been doing these DJ discussions for close to a year now, and I think it's been really great. They've brought the community together and made some connections that are lifelong, so forever grateful for that. I definitely want to say what I just said before, which a good friend said to me 3 weeks ago, is don't forget you are goals. So like if you ever get down on yourself, change your mindset and know there is something about you that is a goal for someone else that you can inspire them. I mean, you can catch me at Midwest DJs Live next week if you don't have virtual tickets. I'll be doing a talk on making it rain leads. And then other than that, follow me on the gram and I'll share everything I'm doing at Meet Kristin.
Nice. All right, AK, what's up?
Well, I'm the real DJ 47 this week going on. I am streaming again tomorrow, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I got a couple cool things coming up in the next couple of weeks, some different collaborations and raid trains and stuff. One of the bigger ones is I'm going to be on Tweak Music Tips. They have this new segment that they're doing on Twitch about people that are like grinding and on their way to getting to partner. So I'm going to be on that. And that is pretty much it. And I have my first real gig coming up. So send out some prayers for you, girl, that I remember how to wire everything and I have enough gaffer's tape because that stuff is expensive.
Good vibes. Good vibes. I'm sending good vibes your way, and we're all here. You can, and if you need anything, call me.
Thank you.
I'll send somebody your way. I get you covered. We'll get you. Okay, I'll walk you through it. All right, KrisCut, what do you got? What do you have going on?
Yep. So you can still catch me on Twitch about 20 hours a week. My schedule's always up on my Twitch about, right? It's my about section always is updated with my schedule. You can follow me on IG on that right there at DJ KrisCut. Also, same thing for Twitch. It is my birthday this weekend. I'm celebrating life. I'm celebrating what a beautiful Twitch community we've built. You know, whenever I say my Twitch channel, I say it's not my channel, it's our channel because it's a family. And I just want to say again, you know, as everything is opening up, I know people are reacting differently. Like some of us are still scared, like we don't know, like some like uncertain. I read something on Facebook that really like hit me hard. And I wanted to share. It said that, you know, every single one of us, we faced a trauma this year. It was a traumatic experience. And everyone's dealt with it differently. So shout out to everyone. Like sometimes people close up, and shout out to everyone who's able to like turn things around for them. Just know that, you know, the year that we've had, it was a trauma pretty much. We all went through a traumatic experience. Some people are like not mentally okay. So just check up on your fellow friends. Somebody you haven't heard in a while. I always tell people on my stream, if nobody told you I love you today, I love you. And I tell them that. I'll make it really, you know, because I just want to give love. And thank you guys so much again, QSC, for having us. I'm really, really honored to hang out with you ladies. You guys inspire me a lot. So thank you guys. Thank you, QSC. Brr, 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 brr. That's my, and that's it. Love from Las Vegas. Thank you guys.
Awesome. We love all of you. I mean, I love all of you. QSC, I'm sure, loves all of you guys as well. I can't speak for them, but I can personally do it. But I'm sure they do. Again, you guys are all killing it. And like, you know, Kristin said, I'm going to steal it. You know, you guys you're all goals. We're all goals. Everybody watching, just like Kristin said, just know that you're an inspiration to somebody out there, and live your life as such. You know, live your life with, you know, how you want other people to see you, how you want the world to perceive you, and, you know,
live your life. Hey.
Right on time, Kristin.
Yeah, that was good. You might think she's a DJ or something. I don't know. Wow, funny how that works. Awesome. All right. Well, once again, thank you, ladies, so much. Everybody keep killing it. AK, you're going to kill it on your live event. Kristin, you're going to kill it. Everything you're doing. And KrisCut, you're going to kill it and hopefully not kill yourself on that 24-hour stream. Take care of your birthday, girl. Don't drink that much. And happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you. I adore you guys. Thank you. Love to everybody. Have a wonderful, beautiful day. Thank you again, QSC, for your awesome products, for providing this platform for us. I'm so happy to be a part of it. Thank you guys again. Everyone in the chat. Thank you guys. We love you. Appreciate you. Thank
you so much, viewers. I will be back on May 19th for my DJ discussion. Kristin, you're before me though, right? You have one coming up earlier in May?
Yep, we got one on May 5th, Cinco de Mayo.
Okay, a little Cinco de Mayo action for Kristin, and then I'll be back May 19th. You can follow us all on Instagram, Twitch, and social media. I'm at DJ Keelez. As you can see in my box here that I can never, one day, I swear, how DJ Keelez here. Follow us, show us some love. We'll show you love back. Thank you all. Thank you, QSC. Have a great week. Take care.